Hello BookTube, Sarah here and welcome to my channel. Today I'm coming to you with my July 2019 wrap-up and stats. So how these videos work, in case you're new, is that I like to talk about all of the stats for what I read over the course of the month. I just love stats. I love looking at how my reading breaks down, and I really enjoy sharing that with all of you guys. And then I'm going to talk about all the challenges that I participated in over the course of the month of July and what books I read for them. And then I'm going to let you guys know what my top 5 books for the month were. Spoiler alert, one of them might be sitting right up there. If you watched my weekly reviews book, or my weekly reviews that came out last Saturday, you've probably already been spoiled for what one of them are. But anyway, let's jump into my stats. So in the month of July, I read 29 books, none too shabby at all. For my Goodreads goal, as of July 31st, I am 1 book ahead of schedule. I read 212 out of the 365 books that I put my goal for the year. So I'm at 58% done of my goal, which is super fantastic. I read 2 5-star books this month, you guys, 2 4.5-star books, 10 4-star books, 10 3.5-star books, 3 3-star books, and 2 2.5-star books. I read 14 contemporary romance novels, no surprise there. 5 romantic suspense novels, that one actually surprised me. 3 paranormal romance, another surprise. 2 historical romances, 2 middle grade fiction, and 1 cozy mystery. For the Harlequin imprints, I always like figuring out how many of these I read every month. So I read 1 from each of the following imprints. A Blaze, an Intrigue, a Romantic Suspense, a Special Edition, a Super Romance, a Temptation, and a Silhouette Bombshell. I read 24 books that were geared towards an adult audience. I read 2 YA, 2 middle grade, and 1 new adult. I read 2 books that were published in the 1990s, 8 that were published in the 2000s, 18 that were published between 2010 and 2018, and 1 book that was published this year. 11 of the books that I read this month were on audio, 9 were ebooks. I had 5 mass market paperbacks, 2 trade paperbacks, and 2 graphic novels. I read 27 novels and 2 novellas. 25 of the books that I read this month were part of a series. That was super fantastic. That I'm trying to get through some series. 4 books were standalones. Of those 25 that were part of a series, only 5 were brand new series that I started. So yay for me. 20 of them were part of ongoing series that I'm already reading. Even bigger yay. I read a grand total of 7,932 pages this month, averaged out to about 256 pages a day. Not too shabby at all. So challenges and events. For my Triple RC monthly challenge for the month of July, I completed all 10 out of 10. This is now 3 years and 7 months that I have not missed doing a month of this challenge. I am so thrilled with that statistic. I don't know why it makes me happy, but it does. Of course, the other challenges for this month and this year, some of these are yearly challenges, but I'm breaking it down by month. For Romanceopoly, I read 3 more books in July towards that challenge, so I've completed 22 out of the 39 squares on the Romanceopoly board. And the books that I read were When a Scot Ties the Knot by Tessa Dare, book number 3 in the Castles Ever After series. This was for the Library Square, which was a sorry, I'm drawing a blank. It was like a reader's choice kind of an idea. Living Dead in Dallas by Charlene Harris. This is book 2 in the Sookie Stackhouse series. This was for Warrior's Way, which is where you had to read something about a band of warriors. And originally I was going to read a book by Gina Showalter, but I couldn't get into it. And I ended up deciding to pick this one up because I figured that Sookie and her friends are a band of warriors of sorts. And they're hunting bad vampires, let's put it that way. And last but not least, Magic and Macaroons by Bailey Cates. This is book number 5 in a Magical Bakery mystery series, and this was for the Cozy Corner Square, where you had to read a cozy mystery. So for my Stacking the Series challenge, which is a personal challenge that I am doing throughout the year, I have now completed 2 out of the 11 levels. I should get some more completed in the month of August, which I'm super excited about. So I have now read 37 out of the 66 books for that challenge. And I got a whole bunch of them done this month, you guys. So I read Summer Days by Susan Mallory, Fool's Gold book number 7. I read Second Chance Pass by Robin Carr, Virgin River number 5. Lucky in Love by Jill Shalvis, book number 4 in the Lucky Harbor series. All He Ever Dreamed by Shannon Stacy, book 6 in the Kowalski family series. This is such a fun series if you guys have not read it. Cold Case Colton by Addison Fox, book number 4 in the Coltons of Shadow Creek series. One Hot Cowboy Wedding by Carolyn Brown, book 4 in the Spikes and Spurs series. Falling for Fortune by Nancy Robards Thompson, book 5 in the Fortunes of Texas, Welcome to Horseback Hollow series. And last but not least, Echoes of Evil by Heather Graham, book number 26 in the Crew of Hunters series. So yay for all of those. For my summer romance book bingo, which of course I am hosting with a bunch of other people, I will leave a link in the description box below to the summer romance book bingo. You get a bingo square, you fill in the categories. It's super duper fun. It's been running all summer, June, July, and August. I will be doing it again next year. And there is a very good possibility, if there's interested, if anyone else wants to co-host with me, to do a holiday book bingo again in December, because I know we did it last year and a lot of people really like that one too. But for this year's summer romance book bingo for the month of July, I'm at 16 out of the 25 spaces filled. I will pop an image of the card up here real quick for you guys to see. Yeah, so 16 of the spots are all completed. So these are the ones that I got in the month of July. I read Cooper's Charm by Laurie Foster. This was for first in a series. I read The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. This was a standalone novel. Echoes of Evil by Heather Graham, a paranormal. Cold Case Colton by Addison Fox. This was for the new to me author square. Sweet Talk by Susan Mallory. This was for the food/cooking square. Someday Beach by Jill Sanders, a book set at the beach. My Unexpected Forever by Heidi McLaughlin. This was my new adult square. A Scandalous Deal by Joanna Shoup was for the 2019 Rita finalist. And last but not least, Wake to Darkness by Maggie Shane. This was the July group read. It wasn't technically the July group read, but the one that I had picked, I think me and a lot of other people really weren't into it, so I allowed you guys to read any paranormal or romantic suspense and still get your 2 points for it. So there's for my summer romance book bingo. And last but not least, my top 5 books of the month. So I will go in order from least most favorite to most favorite. So coming in spot number 5 is All Hallows Eve by Heather Graham. I gave this one 4 stars. This is a Crew of Hunters novella, and I really enjoyed this one. It took place in Salem over Halloween. You don't need to say any more than that. It's like, comes in at 125 pages. It features 2 characters that you met in a previous book, but you do not have to have read that book before you read this one. If you are looking for something spooky and scary to read over Halloween, I highly recommend that you pick this up. Or if you're looking for a reason just to try out the Crew of Hunters series without delving into the entire series, definitely pick up one of their novellas. They are not, like, they're absolutely worth it. And I really, really love them. Coming in 4th place is Wake to Darkness by Maggie Shane. I gave this one 4.5 stars. Talk about creepy books. This one involves a serial killer. It involves the paranormal. It involves 2 people that you met in the first book, and they are kind of sort of not really a couple. But our main character, Rachel, went blind when she was 12 and then regained her sight with a cornea transplant in the first book. And she began to experience things from the perspective of a serial killer. And now it seems like that serial killer is back. So yeah, this one was super creepy. I do recommend, though, that you read the first book before you get into this one. They do need to be read in order, in my opinion. Super great, super creepy. I did also notice, for those of you who are interested, book 1 and book 2 are on sale for the Kindle monthly deals. So if you're interested in picking up this series for cheap, go and grab the first 2 books. You will not be disappointed. Coming in 3rd place, When a Scot Ties the Knot by Tessa Dare. Gave this one also 4.5 stars. This book was delightful. It is a Regency historical romance novel about a girl who makes up a suitor just so she doesn't have to deal with a season in London society. And she keeps up this ruse for 10 years, writing letters essentially back and forth to herself. Until one day, the suitor that she thought was a made-up guy, these letters were actually getting posted to a real Scottish, a guy in the Scottish military. And he has now showed up to marry her. And the story goes from there. Utterly delightful, absolutely fantastic. If you are a fan of Outlander and you just love a good Scottish, historical romance, I highly recommend this one. It was, like I said, it was absolutely delightful. Tessa Dare is super fantastic, and should I really need to gush about this one? It's about a Highlander. Need I say more? Coming in second place was Giant Days Volume 1, and this is by John Allison, Lisa Treman, and Whitney Cougar. I gave this one 5 stars. This is a graphic novel series about 3 friends in university in the UK, and there's not much more I can say about it. It's the first in a long-running graphic novel series. It is absolutely delightful. The art in this is wonderful. The stories are cute, and they're totally something that I think most of us who have been through that time period in our lives or who might be going through it now could absolutely appreciate. I highly recommend that you go ahead and check this series out. It is well worth your time. And last but not least, coming in first place, my top book of the month, The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. I just gushed about this book at length in my last weekly reviews. Book is fantastic. This is on my keeper shelf. This will be a reread. It is a fantastic story. Probably my favorite Christina Lauren that I've read to date. This is I think I've read 4 books by this set of authors now. Highly recommend it. You know, I'm sure you've heard about this all over the place. I'll leave a link to my, you know, my gushing review in the description box below if you want to go check out more. I loved this. Absolutely loved it, and I absolutely recommend that everybody pick this one up. So that's all that I have for this video, you guys. I do hope that you enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments below what was your favorite book that you read in the month of July, and how are you doing on the Summer Romance Book Bingo? I'd love to know that too. And until my next video, everybody, take care and happy reading. Thank you all so very much for watching. Bye, guys.